Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and welcome to another Pokemon Sun and Moon Movesets video. In this video, I'm going to be talking all about the fighting type variation of Silvally. So let's get started by jumping right into the first moveset that I have for you in this video. So for this first moveset, we're going to begin by giving Silvally a Jolly Nature to boost its speed but lower its special attack, and then run an EV spread that includes putting 252 EVs into its physical attack, 4 into its special defense, and then 252 EVs into its speed stat to give it its max physical attack and speed possible. As for the item, we're going to be going with the fighting memory for every single moveset in this video to turn Silvally into a fighting type Pokemon, but also change the typing of the first move on the set, which is multi-attack, to become a 90 base power physical fighting move to make use of. As for the second move on the set, we're either going to run Shadow Claw or Crunch to give this Pokemon a reliable way to hit ghost type Pokemon super effectively that are going to be immune to your multi-attack. It also is important to note that fighting and ghost type coverage in and of itself is actually really fantastic in that it pretty much hits the entire cast of Pokemon for neutral damage, barring a few exceptions. For your third option though, we can run Rock Slide to allow this Pokemon to have a good coverage move versus flying type Pokemon that resist your fighting moves, and we could also run Iron Head as a way to have a good super effective attack versus fairy type Pokemon that resist your fighting type moves. But for your third option, we could also theoretically run Swords Dance if you think the coverage between multi-attack and then Shadow Claw or Crunch is good enough to allow this Pokemon to boost its physical attack by 2 stages and make it a very threatening physical attacker. For the last move slot though, we can either run U-Turn or Parting Shot to give this Pokemon a way to gain some switch initiative on the battlefield, doing a little bit of damage in the process of switching out with U-Turn, or lowering your opponent's stats whenever you switch out in the case of Parting Shot. Or if you want to run 3 attacks with Swords Dance on the set, you can do that here by including Swords Dance as your last move to again boost your physical attack by 2 stages and allow this Pokemon to deal a lot of damage with its physical moves after its stats have been boosted. For the second moveset, we're going to go ahead and turn Silvally into a mixed attacker. So we're going to start this one off by giving it a hasty nature to boost its speed but lower its physical defense, and then run an EV spread that includes 96 physical attack EVs, 160 special attack EVs, and 252 EVs into its speed stat to give it some well-rounded mixed attacking stats as well as its maximum speed stat. For the moves though, on this set, we're again going to be going with multi-attack to be your main stab physical fighting type move, and then for your second move, either running Ice Beam or Shadow Ball for additional coverage. Ice Beam is particularly useful against flying type Pokemon that are going to be resisting your multi-attack, and it's also really great if you're going to use this Pokemon in the OU tier to allow this Pokemon a reliable way to deal with something like Landorus or Garchomp that are typically often used as physical walls, and thus having a special super effective move to use against them will allow you an easy way to break through those Pokemon. Shadow Ball, however, is a great option here, again to give you that great fighting and ghost coverage, and also a reliable way to hit ghost type Pokemon super effectively that are going to be immune to your multi-attack. For your third option though, we're going to run Thunderbolt here as a way to give you some fantastic coverage along with Ice Beam to give you that great Bolt Beam combo, Shadow Ball again as an option to allow you to hit ghost types super effectively, or Work Up as a way to boost your physical attack and your special attack by 1 stage, thus making you into an even more powerful mixed attacker depending upon which attacks you go with in the second and third move slot. But for your last move, again, we're going to include U-Turn and Parting Shot to give this Pokemon some way of switching around the battlefield more easily, possibly damaging your opponents or lowering their stats in the process. Or if you want to go with 3 attacks, 1 physical and 2 special, we could go with Work Up in this last move slot to turn this Pokemon into a powerful boosting attacker with a lot of type coverage under its belt to hit things for some really powerful super effective damage, or neutral coverage over the whole cast of Pokemon you're going to be up against. Finally, for the last moveset, as it is custom with all of these Silvally sets, I'm going to be showing off a potential defensive set to make use of with Silvally. So for this one, we're actually going to be running a mixed defensive set due to its fighting typing. So we're going to start this one off by giving it an Impish Nature to increase its physical defense but lower its special attack, and then running an EV spread that includes 252 HP EVs to max that out, 88 defense EVs, and 168 special defense EVs to give it some good mixed bulk around. As for the moves, the first one that we're going to go with is going to be Thunder Wave or Toxic to status your opponents, Thunder Wave being a move to paralyze your opponent, crippling their speed and also making it so that they occasionally do not attack, whereas Toxic is a way to wear down opponents slowly at the end of every turn as they take increased poison damage until they either switch out or eventually faint. As for your main attack though, again we're going to include your fighting type multi-attack, and then for coverage either including Shadow Claw or Crunch for reasons mentioned in the previous moveset on this video, for the additional coverage and also to allow this Pokemon to hit Ghost-type Pokemon super effectively. As for your last move though, U-turn and Parting Shot are again going to be options to give this Pokemon some flexibility on the battlefield, allowing it an easy way to switch around and also potentially support its team by lowering an opponent's stats whenever it switches out when used with Parting Shot. But anyways everybody, that is it for this particular variation of Silvally. So I hope you all enjoyed all of these movesets, and as always, please take a look at the screen right here to click on any annotated links above each of the types to be sent over to that particular variation of Silvally, and check out some movesets that I have for you if you would like to use the different types of memories that this Pokemon is capable of holding to change itself to pretty much any type in the game. But as always everybody, that is it for this video, so as always take care, goodbye, and I will see you all next time.